Hello, welcome to the Athy Community Family Resource Centre. I'm here to show you how to cook some easy, cheap and delicious meals. My name is Mary Grufferty-Flood and this course is called Down to Earth Cooking with Me. Now, the next dish I'm going to make for you is lasagna, okay? It's a very full, nutritious meal. You would need salad with it, basically, because you have meat and you have carbohydrate. This is lasagna, and this is fresh sheets of lasagna, okay? I like the fresh stuff. It's nice and soft. Now, lasagna is only the name of the shape, okay? So by that I mean, if I said to you spaghetti, you know straight away it's like a shoelace. So that's the type of pasta. So lasagna is a pasta, so is spaghetti. Pasta is made from wheat. It's called drum wheat, D-R-U-M-M. Drum wheat is not grown here in Ireland. It's only grown in Spain, Italy and in the warmer countries. Our climate isn't hot enough to grow drum wheat. So the shape of the pasta is what makes you in your head know if I say fusilli, elbows, linguine, lasagna in this case. And in those hot countries, they process the flour, the wheat, into flour, and then local women will make the shapes and dry them in their sheds, like you'd hang out the washing. They'd peg them on the line, and then they'll bring them into the local markets on the Friday and sell them to get other products. It's a lovely home industry for a lot of women and a really good way of making extra money. But I like the fresh pasta. Okay, so we're going to make lasagna today, and the main ingredient is beef and pork is the meat. I use half pork to half beef, and that's what the Italians use, okay? So I'm going to put 225 grams of beef into this bowl, and I'm going to put the same of beef. Okay, now I haven't touched this with my hand, so that's the meat part, okay? Now, there is cheese. Cheese is a big ingredient also, and it's mostly, it can be any type of cheese you like. I have a selection here of cheeses here, okay, to show you. We have mature red, that's the ordinary red cheddar. This is feta. This is Greek cheese. It's made from sheep's milk. It's very good for you. This is Parmesan Reggiano. This is made in 2 villages in the south of Italy. And you may not have noticed before, but these type of cheeses, you have a strength 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. And Parmesan Reggiano is 4. And it says it on it, okay? There is a barrel of Parmesan here, and that's the brand mark for Parmesan Reggiano. You'll see on the edge of it here in the box, it's a mark on it, so that's made in Italy. Now, this is another type of cheese called Manchego, and again, this is a Spanish cheese. I like this. This is very similar to Parmesan, but it's made by Spanish. It's made in Spain, okay? And again it says, from a region in Spain, it's level 3 is the strength, and this is 9 months maturing, okay? This could be 2 or 3 years old, and that's a really good quality. A barrel of Parmesan cheese is about €400. So the farmer that's the price he would get for it, okay? This is a red cheddar Dubliner. That's just €2. That's very good quality. This is Emmental, and this is a favourite of mine, applewood. This is smoked with applewood leaves, and it gives a lovely flavour to the cheese. And it's very nice for sandwiches or BLTs, and I'll use some of that. And finally, I'm going to add a few bits. This is mozzarella, okay? Mozzarella is an Italian word called tear off. So it takes 2 people to make mozzarella cheese, because they have to heat the milk in rennet, and then they knot it in plats or balls. And fresh mozzarella will always be in fluid, okay? We only have one mozzarella farm here in Ireland, and it's down in Cork. Cashel Bridge, or Cashel Blue Bridge it's called. And mozzarella is made from buffaloes. So buffalo milk is mozzarella, okay? And this chap down in Cork, he was not doing well in his business, and he went over to visit a friend in England, and he had 6 buffalo on the farm. And he said, well sure, I could do that. So he went to Japan and bought 2 buffalo. For the first 3 months, they were no good at making the cheese. So they had to get guys in from Italy to show them how to make it. So as much as they're making now, they can sell. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous quality product. And he has done terribly well. It's called Cork mozzarella cheese. I should know the name of it, but when you see it in the shops, it's his place. I've been down to visit. He has 25 buffalo now. They live for about 30 years, and they're milked twice a day. Great, when this coronavirus is over, it'd be a great place to bring the children, organise a visit. They're real docile animals, and it's well worth going down to visit, okay? So, you can do any type of lasagna. You can do vegetarian, or you can do all white meat, like minced turkey and minced chicken, either. But today we're just doing the ordinary, regular, I should say, lasagna. So, to me, I know you can go down to the supermarket and buy jars of white sauce, and that is 1 ounce of butter, 1 ounce of flour, and 3/4 of a pint of fluid. Now I'm using fluid because it can be milk, it can be stock, or it could be milk and water combined. So this is the first thing we're going to do. When you've mastered the art of making a roux, you can make a sauce for anything. So here is 1 ounce of butter, okay? And I'm going over here to the stove to do this process, and I'm going to take my time to show you clearly how to make this. And when you're able to do this, you can make many sauces: cheese sauce, parsley sauce, hard-boiled egg sauce, mustard sauce. So this is R-O-U-X. It's a French word for a sauce, okay? So I'm bringing the flour with me. Okay, so I'm going to hold this. Turn on I'm putting the ring on to 6 to heat it up first. Now, I'm melting the butter. Now, you can use margarine if you like either. Now, there's our butter melted. Okay? So now, to this, I'm going to add 1 ounce of flour. Right. Now, I'm going to stir this. And this is going to get thick. Right. Now, if you went down to Darina Allen, to her school down in Cork, this is the way she makes a roux. Now, this is butter and flour. She would stop there and put that into the door of the fridge. Okay? So maybe next week she wants to make a sauce. Say onion sauce. She will cook the onions in milk and butter. She'll go over to her fridge and she will start to crumble in this mixture into the hot fluid and stay stirring it. It's like making a sauce backwards. But because this is butter and flour, this will last for 2 or 3 months in the door of the fridge. So there's only butter and flour in this. But today, we're going to add milk to this, because this is going to be the cheese sauce that you buy in the jar in the Dolmio. That's all is in it. And I'm telling you now, it wouldn't be butter it'd be in, it'd be margarine. So you're doing the real deal here. So what you're actually doing here is you're going to cook out all these lumps of butter and flour, and you stay stirring it, okay? Now I have a nice heavy base saucepan, and that'll keep the heat at the same type of temperature, and you won't burn it. Now when it starts to bubble, I will add more fluid, okay? And the secret is to have no lumps in it, okay? Say you're here and you have this much done, and next thing the phone rings, you have to go down to the school. Take it off and come back in a couple of hours and you can redo it. You won't impair the flavour, or you won't damage it. This could be on the side of the cooker all day, give it an odd stir going by, it's still fine, okay? So this is a roux, and I always find that when I see young women making, or men, making the sauce out of the jars, the one jar is never enough for the sauce, for the mixture. And all it is flour, butter and milk, or fluid. Now I'm really happy with the way this is cooking, okay? See the way I keep stirring it, it's getting nice and the consistency is good. Now I'm going to add it. Now you could add stock to this, like blend up a stock cube and water. This is going to be our cheese sauce, okay? R-O-U-X. A lot of people find this very difficult to work with. Now it's the heat, see there's the bubbles. Now I'm going to take that off the heat, and that's your first stage, okay? Now I will not add the cheese to this until I'm going to do it in the dish, because you could have hard-boiled egg boiled and chop it into that, parsley, onion, you could add a few capers for fish sauce. This is your, look, and there's no lumps in that, see? Now that would not be nice to taste because I haven't seasoned it. There's no salt, pepper or anything in it. So this is our thickener for whatever dish you're going to use. Now if you want it thinner, add more fluid. If you're happy with that consistency, for the minute I'm not going to add any more to it. I'm really happy with that, okay? So now I have my other saucepan, and again it's nice base on it, and here's our extra virgin oilseed rape, okay? Now we're going to fry off our onions, our mince and the tin of tomatoes for the lasagna, okay? Now lasagna is cooked at 180. I'm going to check my oven and put it to that. So that's 180, okay? So here I have my onions and garlic. So I'm going to squeeze in 2 cloves of garlic, okay, into the oil. And I'm going to turn this up now again. Right, so there's my onion, and this is a full onion I've chopped very finely. Okay, that should start to sizzle. Now I'm going to use a few of these little sun-dried tomatoes. There's our fresh lasagna. This is our tin of tomatoes, and I'm going to use Italian herbs in this, pinch of herbs. Okay. Now what I'm doing here is I'm sauteing the onion. So sauteing means you're just going to lightly fry them, that they become transparent, kind of watery colour, from being white to kind of glass. You can see through them. So I have this up to the very highest. So I'm just going to let that cook down for a minute. And I have my pork and beef mixture here. Now again, this is for 4 people, and that's the required amount, pound of meat, 454 grams. So I'm happy enough with that. I'm now going to add the mince in, okay? And then I'm going to chop this in and cook it down, okay? So we're just browning the mince here, or separating it and incorporating the onions. So it's equal quantities of pork and beef. The authentic Italians use pork and beef. I like the combination, I must say. Pork is inclined to be a bit more juicier than the beef, and it makes a very, very nice dish, I must say. We probably wouldn't do the pork here in Ireland until you go to Italy, where that's the way I learnt it anyway. Okay? Now the meat is becoming browner from the red, and I'm going to let it cook out there now for a minute. And then I'll add the stock cube, which is a beef one, and a tin of tomatoes. And I'm going to add a few of the semi-sun-dried tomatoes that was in this. This was also bought in Lidl and Aldi, I should say. There's a little bit of oil in there. I'm going to add that to it. It'll be nice to give a bit of flavour. These are half semi-sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to eat one. Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. Delicious. So I'll just divide them here, and that'll give another depth of flavour to it. Okay. So the meat is browning nicely, and have an even mix through it. Now again, I haven't added salt and pepper yet. I will do that in a minute. So now I'm going to add my tin of tomatoes, and they're not chopped up, which I thought they were, so I'm going to chop them up with a wooden spoon, right? And I always add a pinch of sugar when you're adding tomatoes. I know it might seem quite odd to add sugar, but tomatoes can be terribly bitter and tarty, and the sugar brings out the flavour in them. Okay, now look, you'd never think they were just whole tomatoes. And then I'm going to crumble in stock cube, stir it around it. Now I'm going to rinse out this can with a small amount of water, because you want it all out of it. Okay? Rinse out your containers and cans always. Okay? Now you can see there that that mixture is not too sloppy. It's nice and firm. Now I'm going to add my salt and pepper. Now this will take about 40-45 minutes in the oven to cook. So I'm just going to let it cook there now. There's the salt and there's pepper. And when that comes back to the boil, I'll get my dish and we can place it in the other place, alright? Yeah. That smells very nice, doesn't it? Lovely. Now, this is going to be our assembling point, and there's the way it looks when it comes out, okay? Now, this, usually a lasagna dish is rectangular shape, but I'm just going to do it because, in this dish, because it's deeper, and I'm going to use it all in the one dish, so it's irrelevant what shape it is. Okay, for cutting reasons that's fine, but I'm going to put all this into this dish today. Okay, now when you're assembling your lasagna, I always start with the sheets for this reason. It saves washing up. it's like a layer. And if you had the dried lasagna, it wouldn't tear like that. So there's our first layer, okay? And then I'm going to go with a layer of mince, okay? Oh, that looks gorgeous. Smells beautiful, okay? So there is the one layer of meat. Now, about that much sauce is all you need. One big spoonful, okay? And then we're going to put the cheese in now, all right? You always finish with white sauce, okay? If you put the pasta on top, it'll just go hard. So always finish on, I'm going to put a bit of the smoked cheese here, right? Piece fell in, can stain. Now you see the way I'm using the smoked cheese first, the soft cheese. Now I'm going to use the manchego and it'll push down. See that? Any bits of cheese I left on the grater. See that? So now the manchego has a crust on it. I'm just going to take that off because I don't want it. Right. Now, so that's one layer. So that's your first layer of cheese sauce and a little piece of cheese on top, right? So now you go again with a second layer of this beautiful fresh lasagna. So I'm using 3 sheets on each layer, and it doesn't matter if they overlap. It won't be a problem, okay? I'm going to have 3 layers on this, I'd say. Okay? So there we are, there's our lovely mixture. And then I'm going to have, see that amount? I'm going to put another little extra bit because I have enough for the top. So there we are. Go with the smoked cheese now here first, which is kind of soft. Keep that for the top. And then again, we'll do the manchego and see the way it shoves it down into it. Right? So there's our second layer. And then our third layer, we'll use up everything. Now, any pasta that's sticking up, push it down. Because you don't want any of that sitting up. So see the way that, when the hot mixture, it'll push it back down. And then I'm going to use all the white sauce now. Okay, I'm going to get my spatula. This is called a spatula. I think I bought this in a second-hand shop for about 50 pence. And you see, look, the amount of sauce that's in there. This will totally clean it out. That's all used. Okay, so I'm going to spread the white sauce. Now, do you see where that piece of pasta is sitting up? Push it down. That's not above the mixture. Because in the cooking, that'll just crisp up on you. Okay? Now, there is your lasagna. Now, I'm going to put a decent amount of cheese on top. Pushing that down. Okay? We'll just pop these over. And I'm going to put a decent amount. Now, you can buy cheese that's grated. You don't have to grate yourself, but if you're buying cheese that's grated, somebody's had to grate it for you. So it's going to be more expensive. So when something is done for you, it's not the cheapest. Okay? There's a big block of cheddar. So you can use any type of cheese. Okay? And I'll use a bit of Parmesan Reggiano, seeing it's Italian. I'll break off a bit. And we'll finish on Parmesan. Okay? Now it's a mound in the middle. I'll spread it out so I don't let it go anywhere else. Now just pop it out to the edge like that. Now that'll take about 35 to 40 minutes. 180. Okay? Now, there's your lasagna, popping in the fish pie. Check my oven. And I'll bring this over to the table. Okay, pop it on this plate. And you see there's a piece of lasagna that was sticking out. And you see it got a bit crusty. Okay, but that's why you always cover the lasagna. So that's it. I'll take away the pots and bon appetit. Now the next dish we're going to do is fish pie. And like what we done with the lasagna, I've made a roux the very same way as we done for the lasagna. So an ounce of butter, an ounce of flour, and in this case there's about a half a pint of fluid. Okay? So that's going to be our thickening agent for the fish pie, okay? I haven't seasoned it or anything yet, but I'm going to put on the potatoes first. So I'm going to peel potatoes. I have a few done earlier, but I'm going to just do this one to show you. Now, what I do with the potatoes I boil is I put a small amount of water, okay? So get a pot that fits the amount of people you have, and again we're going to do it for 4 people. So 2 of those for a person is adequate for a meal. 2 big potatoes per person. Okay? If you have children, 2 medium size. Okay? So I have potatoes here. Now chop them all to one size, and the reason for that is they'll all cook at one time. Okay? Okay, so in here I have the potatoes. Now, see the way they fit in nicely. Now, I'm going back here to get a little drop of water to show you how much water to put on them. You just need the water to be coming up through the cracks of the potatoes, just to see there. Now, I always give a little bit of flavour to my potato, and I'm going to put in sprig of thyme, okay, and I'm going to put in a clove of garlic, and I'm going to put in a bit of salt and pepper. Now, if I was at home in my own home, I would put whatever fluid comes off these into the soup bowl, okay, because they'll have full of flavour. So I'm going to bring that to the boil, turn it down, and take about 20 minutes. All right? So here we go. In Aldi yesterday, the very helpful assistant ran down and got me the fish. And this is frozen fish. It's a fish mix that they sell, and it's the first time I've used this. Now a date for 2023. So it looks like it's that smoked coulis salmon, and I have a bit of smoked fish of my own here, alright? So I have onion, mushroom and parsley, okay? So I'm going to put a knob of butter, if I can find it, here it is. So I'll start off with a little bit of butter in this saucepan, and I'm going to fry off the garlic and the onion. Now, it was a bit stupid there, I put the mushrooms on the edge and they're in the way. So I'm going to scrape, this is 1 complete onion and a little bit of garlic, okay? Now, not putting the parsley in because I want it to stay green at the start. And I'm going to season this. When a recipe says season, that means salt and pepper. Simply, salt, pepper. So I have my fish here, I have the onion, I have the white sauce, and I have the potatoes on, okay? So I'll have to wait a little bit for the potatoes to cook, but we'll proceed with cooking this down, alright? I'm sauteing the onions for the fish pie, firstly, that's the first thing. So that's cooking nicely. Put the lid on that, and I'm going to turn it. The reason why I put the lid on is to keep the flavour inside, the steam, okay? And the potatoes are just coming to the boil now, which is grand. That's our sauce. And I haven't added any seasoning much to it yet, okay? So I'm just looking at this. It says I'm new, and it's cooked from frozen, which, well, it is thawed out now. But I'm looking, oh yeah, now there's just a pound of fish in that. And the fish is, it's giving you directions. It's raw, boneless, Atlantic salmon, haddock, and smoked salmon. So there's two types of salmon, smoked, dyed salmon, but I'm adding a little bit of coulis, as they call it, okay? So I'm going to add the mushroom to this now. That'll give the sauce mixture. Okay, see that? Now the reason why you're doing this is to build up flavour. Okay, it's not to give yourself a load of work. So I'm going to pop in the smoked fish there, and then I'm going to add what's in the bag. Okay, so I'll wash my hands after this. The reason why I'm not pouring it all in is there's a small amount of fluid. Now if you were cooking it from frozen, that wouldn't be here. Now you see the amount of fluid that was in that. Okay, so that's good. Now that looks a very nice selection of fish. And then I'm going to add some of my sauce. Now we can put cheese in this, or mustard. Okay, and you can add more sauce if you wish. Okay, this is a really nutritious and very quick dish. Now I can smell the thyme in the potatoes. It's really lovely. It adds flavour. Okay, and the little leaves of the thyme will fall off into the potatoes, and that'll give good flavour as well. Okay, so there's our fish pie, and I'll just leave it there, and I'll go and get some cheese to grate in on top. Okay, because it's a nice colour. Okay, and then I'm going to scrape in the parsley, and again that'll keep its colour. Now I'll turn that off and wait for the potatoes to cook. So that's it. I'll take that off the heat because I don't want to overcook it. Okay, and I'll let you look in at the potatoes. Look, there's salt, pepper, so they won't take too long to cook. So that's it for the moment. I'll just wait for it to finish off cooking. Thank you. Now the potatoes have cooked and I've just strained them. I'm going to add some pepper and a pinch of salt and a little drop of cream. Now this is for the top of the fish pie. There's our fish, okay? So this is a relatively new masher I bought, and it's very good. So I'm creaming the potatoes. Okay, this is what's going to go on the top of the pie. Okay. Okay. Right. So now I'm going to, this is the dish I'm using. It's a stainless steel, and I'm popping the fish pie in here. Okay. Now I'm just going to get a spoon and taste it and see what it's like just before it goes on. Okay. Always important to taste your ingredients. I'll just taste. Oh yeah, that's very nice. Doesn't need anything more. Now a little tip when you're putting potato on top of a pie, always start at the edge. Because if you put the potato into the middle, it's going to squelch up. So start at the edge and work around the whole way around. And the last one you fill in is in the middle. Okay? See that? Now if you put that in there again, as I say, it'll come up over the bowl. And that's what you don't want. Okay? And I'm keeping it about a ½ inch from the top, because when it bubbles up, it won't bubble out in the oven. Okay? Now I could have done them really finer, but I just want to show you, I like the not so smooth end result. Okay? And I'm just going to put a little topping of cheese. This is the Parmesan cheese. But again, whatever cheese you have in the fridge, okay? So I'm going to check my oven now, and I'm going to take out the lasagna, and I'm going to pop in the fish pie, okay? Now, popping in the fish pie. Now, I'm going to take out the fish pie. It looks cooked, and lovely bubbles going up around the edge of it. I can see it through the oven door, which is great. These windows on the doors, or these glass doors, are very helpful for cooks. So, oh yeah. Now, there's our lovely fish pie. Okay? That'll be plenty for 4 people. Okay? And now, this is the end of this session, down to earth cooking with me. I hope that you have got some tips and that you will make good use of them. And I have really enjoyed myself. And if you send in a good response, they might bring me back for another one. Thank you. Bye-bye.